pilot. Is anybody a commercial Part 107 pilot in here? They've gone and taken their test and can fly for realtors and or, you know, any kind of jobs like that. Okay, good. So we're all going to be called a recreational pilot here tonight. And that means we fly for fun. So I've got some handouts. I don't know, who didn't get a handout that needs one?
There's another one.
We got one over here. Has everybody got a handout? Good, I made just enough. All right, I'm going to use these as exhibits as we get closer in to the presentation, because when we start looking at the FAA website, it becomes an eye chart. And because recording, I'm sorry, I can't dim the lights. Maybe in the future we get a projector, that'll all change, but right now we don't. It's the best we can do. So we'll get started. So again, I think I talked a little bit about myself. My passions are photography and drone, and they really mesh well in high technology. When I go out and fly, I have a purpose. We'll talk about that in a minute. A lot of people I've talked to, not a lot, but some, they'll buy a drone, and then after the newness wears off, they go, I don't know what I'm going to do with it. You know, what am I going to do with it? And so that's what we're going to talk about tonight. I'll talk about what I do, and how many people actually have a drone. Okay, we got half of us here. Okay, good. So I know others are probably interested, right, in picking up a drone of some type. And we'll talk about tonight, I'll go good, better, and best, and why I recommend these models. All right. So the agenda tonight is we'll talk about our purpose. That's really very key in understanding, okay, why we should have a drone. All right. Doesn't do us much good if it just sits at home. I know someone that he bought a drone, a pretty expensive one, never gotten it out of the box, and it's been over a year. I don't know. You know, we have, and we'll talk about a mentor in this presentation. If you need help, that's what we're here for. We don't really do workshops as such, but we do have Dennis, and I'm sorry, Dennis Brooks is not feeling well, and he's the vice president. He'd normally be here, and he's more than willing to help you if you get a drone and you don't even know the first thing about how to fly it. He'll come help you with that. He's very, very good at that. So, what's your budget? Everybody's got a different budget, okay? We'll talk about that. One of my recommendations, there's a lot of drones out there. I prefer the DJI because I like the interface and I like how they fly. Now, I know that some of you have another different brand as such, and that's fine. But I prefer the DJI. FAA, there are certain rules that you have to understand, and that's Exhibit A. And you don't need to read that just yet. I've printed it out from the website. We're going to go to the website, but you probably won't be able to read it, it's so small. But we'll just go over the highlights of what the FAA says for a recreational flyer. What you have to know, basic FAA rules. Because you can get in trouble real quick if you don't follow the rules. All right? Locations, where can I fly safely? And we're going to do that. And you've got Exhibit B on the second page, and it shows where that Class E Denton Enterprise comes through, and it sweeps over right over there where Dennis Brooks lives, which is, what is that, Franklin or something? I don't know what it is. Anyway, he has to file a LAANC, a LANC, to get permission to take off. No big deal. You just get an internet connection and tell them where you're flying. You can actually fly in advance, so you can get that permission. No worries. Mentors, we'll talk about that, and then we'll wrap up. So, what is the purpose of having a drone? Well, mine is photography, and what I like to do best is to take the drone and take shots. Okay, that was behind my house there about, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago. That's the front, that's the bridge coming across, ducks out there. There's looking back across, the same ducks. Looks like they're walking on water then. The pool.
Was that sunrise or sunset?
This is what I call the blue hour. So all of these are taken right at sunrise, within an hour, 30 minutes to 45 minutes of the sunrise. Okay, And you can actually go in, 1 hour before sunrise, take shots, and 1 hour after sundown, legally. Now sundown, you need to have some type of device that flashes on the unit, legally, that's what they say, but we won't get into that. There's a lot of things you can get into, but anyway, I take it everywhere. There's the pickleball courts, and I did the baseball team on the opening. Last year, they asked me to come, looking down my street.
Did you take those pictures from your house?
Yep, this is flying over that pond, it's, you're on the,
Right, but
you're back over here.
I'm saying like the other pictures,
No, these I have to go.
no, I know you went there, but I'm talking
Yeah.
about you had some others up there.
Yep,
The
these,
bridge, yeah.
all of these, this one, no, you're right over here.
Right, I know,
Okay.
the one go up, that one.
That one, I'm on the other side of the pond shooting across. I did a lot of Photoshop on that, because you go over there and look, there's a bunch of telephone poles and lamps in there. I just stamped them out in Photoshop. They even run in the back there for the ridges. So I stamped them out. Can't even tell, can you? All right, and then.
Good job. Good work.
Yeah, good work. I cheated, but it still works. Okay, sky replacement, and these are all my skies. All right, here. So the first shot I did, and then I can take that and drop it into this one. It's the same sky, and rather than just be a blur, it really pops the image. Same sky. So you do a lot of stuff, to enhance the image as such. This I got from Photoshop as a drop-in. Photoshop, Photoshop, Photoshop. So there's a lot of things you could take out there, and I just go out and find the joy of just taking shots around here. Okay. All right. So what else do I use it for? What other purposes? Travel documentary. So I don't get to travel much, but I do travel some. And so I travel out to West Texas. People say, oh, there's nothing out there. Oh, yeah, there is. I call them land cruises. All right. There's a Cadillac Ranch, some wind turbines out there. They have a lot of those. That's Big Randall. Okay. He looks like Big Tex, but there used to be a Western wear place there, and now it's a state monument of such. Here is over there, right at the midpoint in Adrian, and it's 1,139 miles to Chicago, the same amount to Los Angeles. And believe it or not, that looks like ground cameras, but it's actually drone. All right, so those are fun.
So Steve, you want to answer this question now or later? When it talks about traveling, do you need local permission? Do you need something that
We'll talk
says
about
you-
that. Yep.
Okay, later,
Okay.
fine.
I'm just showing you the passions, and then we'll get into the,
Okay.
what does it take to go there, okay? And then the clubs I'm in, the drone, the tech, and the photo club, then I do shots there, and this is from Christmas, okay? And these are all drone shots. They go, no, it's not. Yeah, it is. Every single one of them, all drone. Okay, did pretty well. If you get a lot of light, this was down the street from me. Man, if you get enough light on the lens, on that sensor, it'll pop it. But it's getting the light, especially at night. You have to get enough light on it. Okay, so those are fun. All right. So let's talk about the budget. Okay. I think personally, if I was starting out and never flown a drone, I'd highly recommend the Mini 2. Now there is one called the Mini SE, but I actually didn't start with the 2. I started with the Pro 2, which was their top of the line, had been for like 3, almost 4 years. But then I got this. This is also an excellent travel drone too, because it folds up and you put it in your pocket. One pocket can be the drone, the other can be the controller, the standard control. And so I can just walk around with this thing and nobody knows I have it. Take it out, take the controller out, put my phone in there as a display, and away we go. But rather than me try to bore you with all the details, I'm going to go to the YouTube for the promo from DJI. We hope. Come on. Here we go. That globe is what I like best about it. It's kind of not, no, wanna go there. Okay, here. All right, so that, comes in, starting at, $449, just for the drone and the battery and the controller. You can get a, fly more kit, which gives you a carrying case and a couple other batteries. That's nice. So I always purchase the fly more kits. That way I'm saving money when I get the whole.
Steve, I think mine came with some type of little case.
Yeah, it's right here.
Yeah.
And what
Here's
is
the
that
final
pack,
kit.
what's that package run?
Not that case, but mine came with some.
Oh, because
other
you bought it
case.
at Costco.
Yeah, I bought it at
So
Costco.
they, I don't remember, I don't know what it is right now. The price, man, this is their promo piece. During Christmas, you could almost steal it from them. It's still a current model, I think around $650 for the extra batteries and the carrying case. So you just go to DJI, actually go to Amazon. Amazon has all this.
Costco's kind of built, well, you got it, I think, but their own Flymore kit.
Right,
It's got
they
an
built
extra
their own
battery
thing.
and their
Right.
own case. and it's
They built
just-
their own
But
thing.
it's just 400 and something for it.
Yep, and that was, and you can find them there, and there's nothing wrong with that, too, all right? All right, so, I'm sorry. My little device keeps popping off, hang on. Okay. All right, so let's go to recommendation number 2, and of all the drones that I've owned and currently own, this one hits the sweet spot, and it's called the Air 2S. And the reason is, the Air 2S is not as compact as the Mini 2, but it gives you so much more value. It can take the winds better, and we'll get into this just a minute about the pluses and minuses. But it's more compact than the bigger one I have, the Mavic 3. Now I love this one, but I almost have to take the golf cart when I'm using it, because the bag that it comes in with all the batteries and everything is pretty big, and it's hard to go walking around with it. But this one, you could put it in your pocket. I do have one of those Peak sling bags, and I've done that, and it's really for a camera, but you can fold it up, put it in there, and then I have the smart controller, and the new smart controller using OcuSync 3, that's this one here, will run this one. It won't run the Mini 2 because it's not OcuSync 2, okay? But this one is, so you can set it up for that, which basically the OcuSync gives you a little better transmission when the drone's out flying. You're not gonna fly at 3 miles. You can only fly a visual line of sight. But you don't wanna have it lose communication with whatever device you're using. The reason I like these guys is because they're 1,000 nit outside, the sun doesn't wash them out. You got your phone, wash it out. And in the summertime, a lot of these phones will heat up and then they just shut off. Ooh, that'd be scary. You're out there flying and it just shuts off. So that's why I like this. Anyway, here's the video on this.
This is the DJI Air 2.
Not going there. Okay. And then we have good, better, and best. And that's the DJI Mavic 3. And I'm calling this a prosumer. It could actually be used professionally by a pro, maybe for real estate, for commercial type use, and also for consumer that really wants the top end. And it's up there. It's kind of stratosphere. But if you use them and fly them like I do, man, I love it. Absolutely love it, because it's really a great design on this thing. A little heavier, a little bigger than the Air 2S, but it has, you can't see it because I have a filter on it, but you actually have two lenses in there. Now one is really made for telephoto, for kind of looking out there and seeing if there's something you want to go into. It's really not for taking shots, because it's not, it's a digital type of zoom. It does have ability to zoom in on the other lens up to about, 12, 14, I don't know, so many steps. But really very nice drone, and it's more powerful, so if it's windy outside, say 20, 25, this thing will still fly. And when